All right, Algebra 1, Lesson 2, Understanding Variables and Expressions. So objective, you'll be able to identify variables, expressions, and constants. Today we skipped the warm-up as we were still troubleshooting a lot of technology issues. So we're going to jump right into it. So identifying parts of an expression. So in class today we had students share out the different parts of an expression. And so some definitions that we agreed upon. Coefficient, we said that that's going to be the number attached to a variable by multiplication. I'm just going to write by multiplication. All right, so that is our definition here for coefficient. All right, and then so variable, we identified it as what we see, they are the letters that we see, and then we don't know the value, so they're just unknown. So unknown values represented by letters. All right, and then a constant, so we defined a constant as, a number that was not attached to a variable. So let's go ahead and look through some examples here. So if we have something like, I'm just going to put that down there, just reorganize the screen a little bit. All right, so here we see 5x. So 5 here, that's going to be our coefficient because it's attached by multiplication. Even though there was nothing written there that signified multiplication when they're right next to each other, we can just assume that they're going to be multiplied. X is a variable. It's a letter we don't know. Here we have 2 hanging out by itself with no variable attached, and it's been separated by the plus sign. This is going to be a constant. Looking down here, 71AB. Again, there's no indication of multiplication, but we know that since they're right next to each other, we can just know that it's just implied that there's multiplication occurring. So here's 71, that's our coefficient. And then we have our variables, A and B. And then, again, separation by the plus sign, we see 32. That's attached to the variable B. So we see that 32, therefore, would also be a coefficient. And again, the letter that we don't know the value of, B, that's a variable. All right. Really important, we see that the plus and the minus has separated everything so far. So we see 3 by itself without a variable attached. That's going to be a constant, whereas x, that is going to be a variable. All right, identifying factors of an expression. So we reminded ourselves that factors, those are the numbers or variables we multiply together to get a product. And now if you want to pause so you can practice these on your own, please do so. I will resume in 3, 2, and 1. So here we see again the 7, the V, the W, they're right next to each other, so it's implied multiplication. So therefore, what we see is that we have 3 factors, 7, V, and W. Here, -5 right next to R, S, and T. So again, it's implied we have multiplication happening throughout, so therefore these are all going to be factors. All right, then this last one, so it's really important. A lot of people thought today it was 5x. But a really important check is we can say, okay, if we multiply the factors together, we should get the product, right? So we can see here, there's more than just 5 times x. There's got to be something more because we have 5x over 3 as our product, where here we only have 5x. So what we can do is we can also multiply everything by 1/3. That's going to give us the 5x over 3 or the 5 over 3x that we're looking for. All right. So identifying terms of an expression, if you want to take a moment to do that, you can. I'll resume going over it in 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's go over it. So here, identifying the terms of the expression. So here, really key important part, the plus and the minus signs separate the terms of the expression. So therefore, we're going to have up here in blue, 5x plus 2, separated by the plus sign, that's going to be 2 terms. All right, over here in red, 71a plus 32b. Again, the plus sign separates it, so therefore over here in red we also have 2 terms. So it's only addition and subtraction that separate terms, not multiplication and not division. So therefore here, this is all 1 term, this is all 1 term. All right, looking down here, again, multiplication and division do not separate terms. So therefore this is a term, this is a term, and then this will also be a term. So in green down here, we have 3x plus 5m plus negative 8. Remember, there's no variable attached, so that's going to be constant, and then all plus m over 2. So here in green, we're going to have 4 terms. All right, so there's one exception to the plus and minus, addition and subtraction, addition and subtraction separating terms. That's going to be parentheses. So here, if we see something in parentheses, we're going to collectively call that one term. So that is the exception to the rule that addition and subtraction separate terms, except if it's in parentheses.